I know that's a big call. What are your thoughts? Nothing? You agree? Sounds good to me. We'll see. We'll see what Exos can do here on defense. It's going to be PIXL starting off here. No surprises, to be perfectly honest, since they did not get to pick the map. Though, Jordan, when you talk about sniper on sniper, there are no snipers here for Kanga on attack. It's all about the dive.
Yeah, but it might soon change. If this first push doesn't work out too well for Kanga, that is going to be the option that they default back to, one would imagine. Exerst, at the moment, doesn't really have any pressure on his shoulders, but he is playing quite aggressively forward. So, potential here for Kanga to dive right on top of him, though deciding to change his positioning up, which is a little bit more standard now. Didn't quite catch Roro.
Oh.
So now Roro right on top of Exerst. Can't get the job quite done in the end there, though.
Almost. And, well, the action's going to kick off here. Everyone drops back for PIXL on defense, Kanga diving forward on attack. And Jungle Jazz is going to be the first casualty here of this battle here on Temple of Anubis, even though I said here twice.
Yeah, this is not looking too good for Kanga right now. PIXL, well, at least they've allowed Kanga onto the point, but in saying that, they've been the ones to find the kills so far. Merit trying to do his best for his roster, and Chrono actually does get rid of Exerst. But right now, the fight still within the balance, and probably balancing more so on the favor of PIXL as they get the res across onto Exerst as well. Kanga not going to make that one work.
No. So what do you do here? Did the snipers work here for PIXL, Jordan? Did Exos do the job?
Yeah, he did. Yep. He got pressured by Roro, but he still managed to make some things happen, get some kills, and that's okay. But realistically speaking, this composition for Kanga isn't going to really ramp up until we see that Dragon Blade for Roro. That last fight,
as well right now,
you don't expect them to necessarily win that one, but this is the one where Kanga now, if they pull the Dragon Strike out, you really should see them being able to dispatch a PIXL.
Dragon Blade is ready, but is he falling down? Needs to jump back up. There we go, successfully removes Virginia from the team comp to start things off. Bad looking low as well, just being kept alive here by Prowler, who's going to have to pop the Valkyrie. Bad throws out the ultimate as well. We'll see whether the whole Hulk has any effect. It does find Davey, or at least the mech. That's all we're going to see. And the kills going across in the favor of PIXL here on defense, Jordan.
Yeah, well, some of them are, but some are also going back the way of Kanga. Merit does dispatch of Exerst, as he's wanted to do sometimes. Roro stuck in the trap, somehow manages still to survive, and this fight should still be going the way of Kanga.
Yeah, a long way to run back as well.
Looks like for a moment PIXL might be able to hold there.
He did for half a second, but then we saw a two-player swap. We saw the resurrection coming out from Jungle Jazz, and we saw the kill, I think, going across to Merit.
Yep.
So when you swip it around like that, it makes a pretty big difference.
Kanga have got a lot to work with going, though, into this final point. Self-destruct is up. Dragon Blade, really, that's the one that you want to look for, is at 89% now. So Roro's going to have that for the next push. And PIXL don't really have a whole lot to hold off with. It's really down to Dewboy here with the Riptire. If he can delay enough time for PIXL, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. He needs to get up with a big one here.
It's a big Riptire, and well, Roro says see you later to both the Riptire and to Dewboy. Combination with the Brigida, Jordan, you would have thought that this would be enough here for Kanga, as Exerst is picked up, as Bad is picked up. That will be enough, one would imagine. Great work coming out from Kanga here on defense. They're going to be able to pick this one up very, very quickly. 4.5 minutes on the clock. Boom.
Very, very good stuff indeed from Kanga. Roro on both of those points was the one that got the Dragon Blade out. I mean, not so impressive on the first, but on that second point, really, Roro not only dispatching of the Riptire, which we said was not necessarily the win condition for PIXL, but it was the defense condition for PIXL. He also got rid of whoever was playing Junkrat at the time, and also then followed up with 2 kills onto Brigida and Zenyatta as well. So really had a massive, massive fight there for Kanga. And he did it all on his own as well. It wasn't like he had anyone backing him up, really. He just sort of dove in there alone and, well, made work happen. Made some magic happen, and that's what Kanga can do if you open up the map for them.
What they can do.
4 minutes and 36 on the time bank for Kanga. That's a pretty imposing scoreline. PIXL are going to have some difficulty capping out that quickly, I think.
Wondering what we're going to see here coming out from Kanga on defense. We'd definitely expect to see Chrono here on the Orisa. No surprises really if Davey decides to stick on the Diva as well. Then supporting it up with a Widowmaker and a Junkrat. So almost the same as what we saw coming out from PIXL, but I think PIXL, they didn't have, they had a Roadhog. Is that right? Or is that my recollection incorrect? Maybe my recollection.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did.
You sure, mate?
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing to say, really.
No.
It is what it is.
Got to stay away from all that brass there, Jordan. It's very hot. It can burn you. Got to be careful.
Okay.
Do you like my sound effects?
No. Not really.
Wow. I'm here trying to entertain you, and you just mean, you upset me. It hurts.
I'm just being the catalyst for our viewers' opinions.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I get that. Oh! Aki going to go down straight away to Chrono. I think the Hulk came through, brought him back into firing range, and the kill came out. So let's see what PIXL can do here on attack. They're going to push out onto the high ground to start things off. Locus is running out of shield, trying to win the Battle of the Widows. Actually going to go down there anyway to Virginia. So not a bad little start coming out from PIXL. If Exos can get the better here of everyone else,
well,
that would
shield's
certainly
back
help.
up.
But yeah, we'll have to drop back, try again.
Kanga have charged up some important ultimates. Roro, 95% of the Riptire, so that'll be coming out in the next fight, which may not turn out to really be too much of a fight if he can get some work done there. That'll allow the rest of his teammates to build up their own ultis. And so far, not much of a contest from PIXL as they push in now again with another dive, but Roro pulls out the Riptire.
Certainly does. Let's follow it out. Looking to find potentially the Genji is successful. Dubois going to go down before he gets an opportunity just to come around with the flank. And last time, Jordan, it really did come down to the Dragon Blade before Kanga was able to get through this point, get through his first part, Temple of Anubis. Yeah,
I wonder how long Exerst is going to persist with this Widowmaker, because so far he has not had any impact at all. He's charged up 33% of his ultimate in 2 fights. Which means he's not really doing any damage. He's definitely not been getting any picks. And that Orisa shield is being really too big of a blocker for him. So if this next fight doesn't really go his way, times are running out. So Exos needs to find a way to make something happen. Dubois though, 81%. This is, like we said, the same scenario for Kanga.
Dubois in the back line right now. Dragon Blade goes off, needs to find the kills. Roro goes down to Virginia. So PIXL, that's the start that they need. The self-destruct brings one back, and unfortunately for Dubois, that Dragon Blade not going to have any impact at all, Elfishguy.
No, not at all. Great work from Kanga, booping him away, keeping him from getting the reset, and not only that, but the self-destruct takes him down as well. So Dubois not going to be too pleased about that one. He's got absolutely nothing done with the Dragon Blade, and it's not a good sign for PIXL with their biggest win condition not being able to do anything. Now they're going to be back to square one.
Yeah, you're going to have to reset. A lot of work to be done right now. Their opportunity this time around is potentially diving onto the point.
Roro's got himself the Riptire up as well. Just gets a nice bit of teammate there as well for good measure.
Well, that's it. If Roro can find a pick early on, that stops the fight very early on in the process. Roro going to drop back, just very wary, of course, of the infra site. Finally going to come out there from Exerst. Supercharge you can hear coming out from Chrono as well. So we follow Roro out, and straight away he finds the tank. Dubois gone down as well. Roro's picked up by Exerst, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think, when he's already done the damage he needed to do. This battle, this fight coming out from PIXL, probably going to get beaten back very quickly here.
Oh, Merit, that's absolutely massive, the fight. It could have gone either way at that point, but Merit just shuts it down. He gets Prowler as well. Oh, Merit. I don't know how you play Zenyatta like this, but it is something magical.
Jordan, I don't want to say that I suggested potentially Kanga could full hold here on the first point, but hey, it's looking like Kanga may actually, in fact, full hold here on point A.
It definitely does look that way. Dubois at 70%, so he might get the Dragon Blade up in this fight if he can get a nice dash through the entire PIXL roster. And that's really going to be important here for PIXL, because I think that's their only chance of making this work.
Back onto the point, going to throw out the trance. This is PIXL's last hope, Jordan. They're doing what they can. But look at this, 2 kills, both the DPS now going to go down here for PIXL. Kanga in prime position. Roro pushing through, ready to go. Should surely pick up the support or two in the background. There we go. 1 and 2. See you later. Kanga picks up Temple of Anubis. Kanga go 2 and 1 up here against PIXL. Just one more map to go, potentially.
Much quicker map. We've seen some really long ones so far today, but Kanga knocked that one over pretty quick, especially considering they were on attack first. They had to cap out 2 points.
Yep.
Normally, if you're going to see a fast map, it's kind of a full hold on first and then a pretty quick cap, but this was kind of the opposite way around. It was a fast cap on both and then a full hold. So really good stuff from Kanga. I mean, Merit at the end there, that was crazy stuff from him.
Yeah.
And Roro was doing pretty well on the Junkrat. It didn't seem like PIXL had that extra oomph, that firepower they needed to get through the roster that Kanga was throwing at them. I mean, we already saw Juboy, unfortunately, on the Genji, really couldn't get anything done with that Dragon Blade and then didn't have time to build up the second Dragon Blade by the time the fight was over. And Exerst, I gotta say, I didn't think he was doing too much on the Widowmaker. There was just too many shields to deal with. I mean, in the push that kind of looked like it was going to work, he did get a couple of shots across. He got a nice angle onto Roro, but inevitably it was just too late. It was not enough. And Kanga come away with the win.
To me, it was reminiscent of the Season 1 games we saw, where one team really was just not up to standard with the other team, and even they'd throw everything they had at the defensive side, and it just wouldn't work, and they'd reset and they'd try again. They wouldn't change up their team comp. They'd do what they can. This was really quite a convincing win coming out from Kanga. Even on attack, Jordan, 4 minutes 36 seconds is what they had to work with had they gone again. It's essentially what you start with in round number 1, going for point A. So overall, Kanga looking very good, both strong on attack and then strong on defense. PIXL back to the drawing board as we're going to head onto our 4th and final map. For them, they need to win this to push it into a tiebreaker. For me, still looking like that 3-1 going in the favour of Kanga right now. Yeah,
I would agree, especially after a pretty convincing scoreline like that. Now, however, we are moving on to a payload map, which we might tend to see a little bit more Reinhardt as opposed to the Winston Diva. I think that maybe is going to favour PIXL a little bit because Virginia, at least from what I can see, does seem to be a little bit more comfortable playing that Reinhardt.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little bit of an advantage there available to PIXL, but realistically speaking, after a defeat like that, it's going to take a little bit to turn yourself around and think and get yourself back into the right frame of mind after losing like that.
It's been a bit of an effort here for PIXL, considering that they started off so well. They won Oasis. They won Oasis 2-0. Looked relatively convincing, and slowly but surely, Kanga on map number 2, it was a little bit closer than map number 3. It was a bit of a whitewash, really. So they're bounding ever further ahead right now. Serious potential for a 3-1 heading into our 4th and final map.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that final map is going to be either. It's, I guess, of the 3, again, I have to say probably not Route 66, but Rialto and Watchpoint Gibraltar we've seen so far from both sides. PIXL hasn't picked up a win at all yet on Escort, so it's kind of like out of the frying pan into the fire. They've been okay on Volskaya and Temple of Anubis, but moving into Watchpoint Gibraltar and probably Rialto here, they haven't really been able to do a whole lot just yet. So whatever the map is going to be, it's Rialto. I'm not too confident that PIXL's going to be able to pick this one up.
It's a lot of work really to be done here, and it feels to me like this is perhaps just a situation where Kanga is a bit stronger than PIXL are and started off slow, because that Temple of Anubis, really very strong effort coming out from Kanga, and even if they play half as well as they did then, I think that PIXL are going to struggle. So look, it's one of the newer maps, or the new map, I suppose. I'm not sure how long we can keep beating that dead horse, Jordan, but it's got to count for something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, I think it's probably, we're 3 weeks into the season. I don't really think it's an excuse anymore. But Kanga have already picked up a win on this map, so they already know what they've got to do. And I'm sure they're going to be doing it quite well here. Merit seems to be on point. Locust seems to be on point. Roro definitely, again, a very, very solid performance out from him today. I mean, it's probably better than solid. I think that's probably underselling it a little bit. The tanks have been solid for Kanga as well.
Yeah, PIXL hasn't been playing poorly either. They just, they got beaten on King's Row and they lost on Anubis. That sounds like the same thing, but to be fair, it's not really. It's 2 different scenarios. Let's see what they can do here on Rialto. Kanga going to start off on attack. Let's see if they can make it all the way to the end.
Interesting, again, Kanga choosing to start attack. That's what we saw Serenity doing as well.
It is a bit peculiar.
That wasn't Serenity, sorry. Someone yesterday.
think we saw it earlier. Was it not earlier this morning? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The payload finally going to be contested here by PIXL on defense, and Excess going to fire Locust to start things off.
Yeah, that's something we've seen before. Not so much on Temple of Anubis though. So this is perhaps where PIXL can find those advantages. It's not really any Orisa shield that Locust can sit behind quite so easily, and Exos definitely, of the two Widowmakers, has been losing the aim duels predominantly. So it's like 75-25 at the moment.
I wonder how these two team comps are going to match up together, Jordan. One with the, as we said, that pick potential coming out from the Hog, but hey, Hog's got to be alive to do anything with it. Whilst the other team on defense will have Reinhardt and Zarya.
Oh God.
And look at Exos fighting.
You've got to feel like so awful right now as Locust, because I've talked about it before, this meta is very Widowmaker heavy, and if you're not winning that Widowmaker duel and you're losing it so much, it's like, what do I even go to here? What can I swap to? Because
Kanga
Widow's our
swap
best
over
chance.
to dive here, Jordan, swapping practically everything up, except for the supports. But they can't have any less success here with this dive comp than they had with Orisa Hog, that is for sure. Just waiting now for the Genji to get across. That'll be Roro. Roro, who's, to be fair, been pretty strong with the blade. Someone's got to stay on the payload to get it moving, or they need to win this fight and clean everyone up real quick.
I think for Kanga, it's going to be just another little bit of a waiting period here. Although they do find the pick onto Juboy, that's probably not one that's going to be too easy to res there for Prowler. Player advantage right now for Kanga, but the Earth Shatter is down there from Virginia.
Yeah, that's the second good Earth Shatter we've seen in a little while, but fortunately this time around, so much time on the clock, so many kills coming out from Kanga, it is not going to be enough. Kanga win the battle, will jump on the payload, push it forward, get through the courtyard, and get very close to completing phase number 1.
Yeah, not too bad from Kanga. They don't really use anything there. Valkyrie, I think, came out from Jungle Jazz, but that's literally it.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to use the Transcendence. Meanwhile, they burn Transcendence from PIXL, Earth Shatter, Valkyrie.
Well, let's be real, Locust, Davey, Roro, and Chrono, none of them started that battle with any percentage, right? Roro does find Prowler, goes down, but I think this has still been pretty good here coming out from Kanga. They haven't thrown out all that much, and the payload looking to get across the line. They will complete phase 1, phase 2, here we go, 3:20 on the clock. Still a reasonable amount of time for them to work with.
Yeah, Merit's still looking for those picks. It's going to be Chrono to chase down Prowler. More stagger there for PIXL.
Yeah, you don't want to see that, do you? Should allow Kanga to successfully traverse the bridge and get out of that kind of choke point.
PIXL have changed their roster up just a little bit. Exhaust's gone on to Brigitte. It's not finding the Widowmaker as successful. He also briefly swapped off to Tracer, but that didn't work too well either.
No, Virginia up to 55% here on the Earth Shatter. Still a fair bit of work to be done. Certainly that ultimate advantage in the favour of Kanga right now. And hell, Aki going down, Virginia going down. This is definitely less than ideal for PIXL on defense. Kanga certainly have the rhythm, have the roll on Jordan. That payload continues to move forward. Nothing really here to stop it at all.
Yeah, Roro with a very smart switch as well. Recognises that PIXL don't have anything really to deal with him. Of course, Juboy can, but it's not so easy. And he swapped off onto the Pharah, which again is going to force Exos back onto the Widowmaker. Again, that game of cat and mouse that we spoke about from our last match. Look at this, Roro was almost in a dangerous position there, or position to cause some damage, I should say. In the end, he's really putting Virginia under the pump because he's just firing rockets down onto him, getting the boops across as well, putting him out of position, and that is never fun as a Reinhardt.
That's it. For me, PIXL are continuously being forced to fight out of position. These are not the fights that they want to take.
No.
There is no one where they need to be. You've got Roro in the back line here, swapped off from the Genji through to the Pharah, already managed to get Rocket Barrage ready to go. Time and time again, we've seen Roro do the damage, do the work here for Kanga. Certainly no different here on Rialto.
Again, Roro throwing out a few shots, bit of damage coming out. Rocket Barrage is available now, but they have lost Locust, so Kanga's going to slow things down here. Reset. Wait for the respawns. Roro is still being a little bit of a pest, but realistically, the chances of him finding a pick like that, not too high, unless someone walks into a rocket.
That was one of the best phase twos we've seen here on Rialto from the attacking side.
Here it is.
Rocket Barrage comes in. It's going to say, got to watch out for Exerts. Does not manage to do that. And everyone follows it through, and everyone gets destroyed. Great work, really, on the back of Exerts in that pick.
Yeah, pretty good awareness from PIXL. He seemed very ready for Roro to do something like that, but I don't know if that was really a committed strategy from Kanga. Roro was like, I'm going to throw it out, see what I can do. Yeah. Didn't get anything done, but now he's swapped off onto the Genji, and Kanga didn't put anything into that fight behind the Rocket Barrage. So they still have all their ultimates to work with here, but on the same token...
Yeah, as does PIXL, mate. PIXL
have a lot. Earthshatter's down now, though.
Yeah, let's see how successful it's been. It's done a little bit of damage. Merritt get picked up. You can see Locust throws out a Pulse Bomb, won't find anyone. But the kill's still going over across to PIXL right now. Locust doing what he can, but unfortunately, it is not going to be enough. They've lost a minute in phase 3. Only 90 seconds remains. PIXL, what are they going to do here on defense? They seem to be managing this ultimate economy relatively well, Jordan.
They don't really need to do anything. They've got the Graviton Surge, they've got the Dragon Strike. All they need to do is wait for Kanga to bunch up and then throw that out. And in theory, that should be a fight one. Merritt does have Transcendence, but again, you can always follow it up with a Fire Strike. The Reinhardt, sorry, just jumps in there, swings his hammer around, and that'll be enough damage to even punch through the Transcendence. But if Locust is going to get picks like that onto Exerts, maybe there's a chance, although there is a trade back. Still a res for a res, that's okay. But Kanga don't have much time to work with here, and to go up against a Grav Dragon combo right now, it's not going to be a fun fight.
Kanga says, let's try this again. Let's see whether it works out well. Virginia goes down in it's a great start. Jungle Jazz nowhere near the opportunity to res. Locust finds 4 kills, late. Jordan.
I don't know what is going on there for PIXL, but they wait so long to get that combo across. They already allow Virginia to go down before it is thrown out. There's no follow-up at all for the combo, and obviously there's not enough damage when Merritt's got the Transcendence up. So Kanga, they've been given some breathing room now, 30 seconds on the clock as they push now into the final point.
And you'll see that Dragon Strike coming through. Actually not going to find anyone. Maybe it slows them down. We'll have to wait and see how quickly PIXL can get onto the point. For me, it looks like it's probably been okay for the defensive side. Roro looking for an epic Dragon Blade. He's found one. That's Prowler. Is it going to be enough? Maybe not if Bad does the work. But now, no Reinhardt on defense. 2.5 seconds. They're going to have to sit on the payload. How long can DuBois stay alive with the shield? The answer is a while.
Yeah, Merritt gets res back up there as well, so a little bit more damage on the field for Kanga, not to mention the healing that he's going to be able to output. Roro trying his best to deal with DuBois, inevitably will close him out. Took him a little while, but Kill gets the kill in the end. Prowler goes down as well. It's not looking too fun for PIXL as they're continuing to trickle on the point, but the numbers are there for Kanga. They've got so many players sitting in position to deal with any trickle.
And that should be that Elfishguy. Very little that PIXL can do here. Just Prowler remains nowhere, unfortunately, near the payload. Even if he was, what would you expect? The answer is probably nothing. And Kanga are able to complete the third and final phase here on Rialto. Now it's time for them to defend. Now it's time for PIXL to pull something out of the hat here, Jordan.
Yep. Overtime, though, for Kanga. I've said the same thing about King's Row. PIXL still in with a chance here.
A lot of work, though, to be done. They haven't really been up to the challenge, it feels, for the last probably 45 minutes or so.
Well, definitely not. From basically when overtime started on King's Row, it's really all gone the way of Kanga, hasn't it? Admittedly, that there is not too bad of a defense from PIXL. Like, obviously, they cap out all 3, but it's in overtime, so I guess that's fair enough for PIXL. Maps are designed to be finished, after all.
They are.
And
they are, but you have to
PIXL
do the work. We take a look at what Kanga's going to play here on defense, Jordan. 2 dive tanks, 2 snipers. We've seen this a few times so far.
Yep.
How's it going to work when you're trying to defend, though, trying to stop that payload?
I'm more of a fan probably here of Orisa and Roadhog, but I do just think Chrono really likes to play Winston.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? That's something that we've seen time and time again. Definitely far more comfortable on the Winston. Look, I'm not sure how effective that will be against the top-tier teams,
It'll be very difficult to punch through the Reinhardt and the Zarya when there's a shield, and like you're a Winston and a D.Va which don't have the highest of damage output, so you really are going to be relying on Locust and Roro, and to a lesser extent Merit as well with the Discord Orbs to be on point. But for Pixel, I do like their composition just a little bit more for this part of the map. We'll see though, Kanga have been making it work so far today, so we'll march it out.
Yeah, for better or for worse, Jordan, Kanga definitely ahead right now. Let's see where they choose to dive with these two tanks. At what point do they want to try and make the battle begin? Locust holding a long way back right here, and Exus, I'm not sure if that was Exus going for a swim or not 100%.
I'd love to see a replay of that from his point of view, but I don't know if we'll be able to get one. Interesting, but Locust, he's going to take advantage of no counteracting Widowmaker to have a little bit of a look in and see what's going on. Gets a kill onto Bad.
The payload though, Jordan, still moving forward, still going okay. This is the point really where Kanga needs to make a stand, needs to drop down if they can, and stop this payload from moving forward. I guess they've kind of managed to do that for now. Excess going to go down there to Roro. Player advantage in favor of the defensive side, but hey, those spawns so very close here. Dragon Strike now already up for Kanga. They'll throw that out, find a couple of kills. Pixel will need a reset.
Yeah, Locust really not having any pressure put on him at the moment, and if you continue to allow him to throw shots out like that, you know, a lot of them just look like pot shots, but inevitably one of them is going to hit, and one of them is going to hit the head, and that's going to be the pick that Kanga needs to kind of stall this payload. And I mean, to be fair, Pixel have gone quite far forward. There's still 2.5 minutes to go, but Locust just not really having any problems right now, and actually getting that aim duel against Exus. That's big news for him. Does go down straight away to Bad though.
Dubo with the Dragon Strike needs to be a big one, Jordan, if they want to push this one forward. But a couple of kills already going in the favor of Kanga right now. Probably not the time to throw it out. We'll bring one back, brings two back. That's pretty good work, and that sort of rejuvenates, I guess, here Pixel. They decide to go in once again. Davey looking low, Dubai trying to chase him down. Half the team here going exactly after Kanga.
But it's still not going to be enough for Pixel to secure that first point. They're getting close, but there should be a contest here from Kanga, and they'll be able to easily do it. Primal Rage is out there for Chrono. Locust with a nice long sightline here.
Earth Shatter into 3 ultimates across the board. A Trance and a Dragon Strike comes through. Here's the big play, Elfishguy right now. Only finds Chrono. Is that going to be enough for Pixel?
I'm not sure that it is going to be enough. Locust needs to go down here because he's really putting a lot of damage out, even if he's not getting those picks. Somebody needs to get on the point, though, and it is going to be, well, all of Kanga, actually. As Virginia does go down. Rez to come across onto Davey as well. Kanga, another successful hold. Now only a minute left for Pixel. Absolutely no ultimates to work with. Valkyrie will be up soon, but that's not going to help you trying to push in the payload. That's just going to keep the Mercy alive, which at this point isn't really the concern for Pixel.
Yeah, that's it, Jordan. 50-odd seconds, really not very much time for Pixel to work with. 1 and a bit attacks potentially for them to try and get through phase number 1. A real chance here that the Kanga can stop this in its tracks and finish the day off 3-1 without even having to go to phase 2 on defense. They are going to have to give up the high ground here. However, we'll see what Exus can do. Maybe onto Merit. What's the play? Pushes through. Looks to find the kill. Has to recall out a dodge. And look at this, man. Doing his best is Exus, but it is not enough up against the supports here from Kanga. Virginia's already gone down to Davey, and as much as Exus can do, it takes so much time for so little work being actually done. Yeah, exactly. Chrono's going to be on the Primal Rage shortly as well, which is more or less going to shut down any possibility of Pixel trying to push through. So he's just going to go into a Raging Monkey, and there's going to be too much health to chunk through. Aki goes down there as well. Merit traded out, but all in all, Chrono, he's gotten good usage out of that Primal Rage, finding 2 kills out of it. Kanga, they will hold strong here. Pixel are going to be going down 3-1, and Kanga secure their 3rd victory in Overwatch Contenders Season 2. A good, well-deserved victory going to go over to Kanga, Jordan, but Pixel, glimpses of greatness, some might suggest, did well in Oasis. Almost managed to find King's Row, but that was where it ended. Yeah, again, there was some moments for Pixel, which is what we said about last week. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not consistent enough to be able to get the win on the board there for Pixel. So, look, it's difficult coming through from Trials. They're the 3rd seed from Trials, so technically speaking, they are the weakest
team in this group to be going up against Kanga, who seems to be in really, really good form. They've had a season of Contenders under their belt. It was always going to be a tough ask for PIXL, so I think for PIXL being able to actually get one map, that's actually not too bad of a result. Realistically, it does mean that they're probably going to be going down into 5th and 6th or staying in 5th and 6th. They probably won't be able to make it through to playoffs, but for a team that's come through from trials, you don't necessarily expect to make to playoffs in your first season of Contenders.
Yeah, like, it's funny, right? It's all about managing expectations, and it's kind of peculiar where if this had been the reverse, where PIXL had started off with a massive loss against Kanga on Oasis and had come through and won on Rialto, we'd be saying, well, PIXL lost, but it was great to see how they made that comeback. Yeah. They got through, they picked up a map, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as they beat Kanga on the first map, they changed our expectations and we said maybe PIXL can win
not
this.
Only that, but I think the fact that they were able to contest quite hard on King's Row as well. You know, you saw a good map out from PIXL, then you saw a pretty decent map out from them, and you were like, okay, maybe there's a good chance that they can actually contest a little bit harder in this series. But Kanga, when they got on a Temple of Anubis and then onto Rialto, things just looked a little bit easier for them. They really got themselves kicked into gear. It took a little while, but they get the job done in the end. 3-1's good enough for Kanga. That'll keep them toward the top of the standings. Is that going to
keep them at the top of the standings in general, Jordan? They were at first last
week. They were
1
point ahead of Darkside, were they not, or 2? Was it 2 maps or 1 map?
I don't remember.
If it was 1 map and Darkside had 4 zeros today, then it's going to be equal first with Darkside. If it was 2 maps, they'll still be ahead, even if Darkside gets the 4-0. But so, the reality is that they're going to be staying in first or equal first.
Which is, to be fair, pretty impressive 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
So Kanga going to be pretty happy about that one. Doing the hard yards this season. It's a pretty tough group, to be fair. Maybe not. It's hard to quantify, right? You say Group A is probably the tougher group, but all the teams in Group B are so much closer that it feels like anyone can take a map of anyone, potentially even a match result off anyone.
I think, I mean, at the moment, Group B is looking like the tougher group, but I would say Group A is the more skilled group, if that makes sense. Just because of the way that Group B is playing out, it's really, really weird, and all these teams are kind of taking maps and wins off each other. But when we do get to playoffs, maybe even there's a chance that, you know, the Group A teams are going to have a bit better of a time. You know, with the 3rd place or the 4th place Group A team, I guess maybe not the 4th place, but the 3rd place, like if that's Legacy and they go up against someone like Masterminds or Kanga or what have you, then I can see that one going either way, which typically you'd just say, oh, look, 1st, 2nd seed from each group.
It's not normally how those seeds work, right?
Yeah, exactly. Normally you'd just say 1st and 2nd from each group is going to go through to finals. And that's what we had last season.
It is, yeah.
But this season, things are maybe a little bit more up in the air.
Well, Jordan, it's time for another Macca's play of the game. Now, Macca's play of the game, this time between PIXL and Kanga. Going to go over to Merritt. You love this one, Jordan. This battle was right in the balance. Merritt finds Aki, finds Bad, looks to find a 3rd, picks up 2 supports and the Baby D.Va. And this could have gone anyway. That D.Va was re-meching as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a huge play coming out from Merritt. And right here could have been where PIXL pushes through and finds the point.
He literally kills half the team on his own as a support. So you don't get support play of the games very often, so I think we should jump on that one. I'm pretty happy with that. I think Merritt played phenomenally today again, as we've come to expect from Kanga. And he's such an important, integral part of that roster. So really good stuff again from him, and yeah, enjoy the nuggies.
Mate, it makes it easier, doesn't it, if you've got supports that can play like that.
Play like a DPS.
We have seen so many great Zenyatta plays over the last couple of weeks. It's actually been really exciting. So makes, as I said, so much easier if you can pick up a couple of kills and you're a support player.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you just that little bit of extra firepower. Sometimes we see a lot of teams, they get players low or they get a pick here or there, but they're not quite able to really consolidate on those. They can't finish off the kill, or they can't get the next couple of kills that allow them to roll over onto the next point. But not really an issue here for Kanga, at least when you have support that's going to be able to do that.
Well, Jordan, 2 matches are down, 1 remains. It's Dark-Sided up against Avant Gaming after the break. We'll be back right after this.